So this is the second episode of Off the Record.
Okay.
And our last episode was about error, and now we had a message from Instagram. Someone wanted to hear about how we pick our scripts. And that was a new friend of ours, Anna Lauren. She wanted to know how we pick our scripts, and that's a long journey. Because now we just do whatever. Now when someone comes up to us with a script and, hey, you want to have a look at it kind of thing. But yes, why don't we take them through the journey of the past 3 years of how we decided to go to being selective to screw it, let's just do it.
I mean, there is a part that is still very selective. I think so anyways, but I could be wrong.
It kind of felt like we jumped a couple. We're doing this, because the way we first started was we just wrote it and just did it. And then it went to whoever's ready, let's do it. And then it's now we're just selecting it. Now we're doing this.
I think it did go from whoever's ready because it went.
You're probably wondering how we got here.
Yeah. We just went straight through. It was your feature film that you did. No. Was it between that?
My attempted feature film.
Yeah, your attempted feature film, mine. But we made the timeline during mine. Mm-hmm. And then we were going to do someone else's and just didn't work out. And so Miguel came and jumped in with Always Said. And then as we realized we didn't have any more to do. and then we're like, okay, let's, I want to say it was after that. We were trying to say, let's do a pitch day, a baby pitch day. Was it after Always Said?
Kind of, because one kind of birthed the other, and it's very what came first, chicken or the egg. So to kind of the question is how we pick the scripts and everything is, it went from everybody being in the same room of do you have a script? 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 And then when everybody said, I have a script, and everybody's I want to make mine. So then when everybody said, okay, we're going to make all these scripts, then it turned into us having, before the pitch day, we would have these ridiculous nights where we would set up a literal whiteboard and we would set a timeline. And the timeline kind of birthed the pitch day in a way.
Mm-hmm. A little bit.
Because when we knew this was coming up and this was here, well, we have this month and this month and this month, nothing's happening. So who else has something? And kind of went, at least that's what I remember. Yeah.
We're talking about the first pitch day, right?
Well, just everything in general, yeah. Yeah.
Because
that pitch day did birth the timeline as well.
Because I remember
another set of timeline, because the first one was kind of just thrown on there.
Because you were mad, yeah.
Wait, you after the first pitch day?
Well, okay, everybody hold that thought.
Well, which timeline?
I mean, you brought it up.
No, I understand, but I'm saying we set a timeline when we were doing Thank You.
They can mess that.
We set a timeline when we were doing Thank You.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're awake.
And then we carried that timeline to the pitch day that you're talking about.
Yes, okay. So
and you were sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
COVID.
So that was during your production when we did Thank You.
Yeah.
We had this
the very first
whole
Marvel
whiteboard,
phase thing.
or not the whole whiteboard, but a timeline of films that we were going to do, and I would say 5 of those never happened because there was a script in it that was very cringy, but it was when me and Sam read it, because it was I don't know how to describe it, but it was it needs to be worked on. But it just never ended up happening. It was 2 of them. It was some.
We hit quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I think that's what led to. I want to say that's what led to a pitch day, because I don't know what made us do it, but we also wanted to get people more acquainted with doing a pitch day at all, pitching in general. Because I think we were in the process of doing that within class, and we said to get people to want to do this more, let's get them into the position of this is my story, this is my script, so that they have an idea of how all that puts together. Because we knew that, yes, you have a script, but do you have anything in mind you wanted to do with it? And a lot of people didn't. So that's when that pitch day came along of like, okay, let's show us your pitch. What do you have in mind? What do you want to do with it? So that way, if you have the nerve to come up and show everyone your script and tell them what it's about, this is what's going on in it, and you already know where you kind of want to go with it, it was already set in mind that that's what they wanted to do. And I feel like that is kind of what engineered that pitch day, just to see if anyone had the nerve to go up there. I mean, it's a lot.
Well,
it takes a lot to come up in front of people and say, this is what my script is about.
Well, the way because the first pitch day was never meant to happen.
That's true.
It was
It was hijacked.
It was hijacked.
It was a single, like, not pitch, but just like a single, almost giant production meeting, right?
It was going to be my production meeting for Afterworld.
Given your history.
And and then like it was hijacked. Like, it was like, no, we're going to make that everyone's pitch day. And I'm like, it was my event, damn it. But I was like, all right, we'll do it. I was like, we'll do another pitch day. I was like, no problem. Like, I don't mind sharing. It's like, so it was like, and then that's where the day of the pitch day, I didn't expect to see strangers there. Because I thought it was just going to be us, like the Phase 3 team. And little did I know, Paul was inviting people like, you're coming. And
people
I was like,
came out of the woodwork for that
like
picture.
we had people we haven't worked,
you?
people we just sort of met. There were we barely knew them at the time,
or maybe cross paths with
we
them.
crossed paths with
I
them.
remember being on the
And they
video
were there,
call.
and I was a little when I pitched my Afterworld film. I got nervous because there was new people there, and I just remember I was like, and I had Sam in the computer because she had COVID, and she was over Zoom.
Like,
She's
who are all those people?
She's like, get your shit together.
Explain
Oscar.
that to us if you want to lay that out.
What with my COVID?
You were on a video call.
Yes, I was on a video call because I didn't want to miss pitch day, and of course, it's funny how everyone's COVID moments were like maybe a week. No, mine decided to stay almost a month, of course. So yeah, I told them I really wanted to go to it. I tested, still positive, so I could not go to the pitch day. And so yeah, I look like crap. Apparently, people have told me that they thought I was dying because I was on the video call and I said I don't want to miss it, so I'll be there. And so, yeah, I seen how many people were showing up and doing their pitches. I was like, who the hell are all these people?
There was a lot of people in that room.
I was just right there on the
and I only
video
knew
call.
like a quarter of them.
Yeah, and in the middle of that call, I got super sick out of nowhere. And that's when I finally told them, I was like, I gotta go, guys. I gotta go. They're like, just hold it, put us on mute. And I just, like, ended up hanging up. I was like, no, it's not like that. Yeah, I've got it worse. And then, full recovered. I'm alive, apparently. Yeah, it was on that video call, I ended up having to hang up. And then at the end of it, I heard that there was another timeline made, and it was scheduled, and I seen the whole documents made, and I seen how there was a short film each week planned throughout all the months. And I said, what the hell happened?
Yeah, and I guess to answer the question in a sense, we picked the scripts based on what was pitched, and looking back, especially that first pitch day, it wasn't about like, we'll take that one but not that one.
Yeah,
we just
they were never selected.
We just listened to everybody and we're like,
it was just
we're doing it.
You pitched it, good job. You're in the team.
Yeah.
And it wasn't it wasn't a selection like our past recent one was.
Yeah. And thinking back though, like all that's done now, but thinking back, like the movie's birth from that first timeline that was mapped out on Thank You and then carried over to the pitch day was Afterworld. It was Rival on that pitch? No, but you had a space on that day. I remember we were like, we have to leave this open for Sam. And
yes, because when I had COVID, I wrote Arrival.
Yes.
That's why. I was like, it's coming back.
We had, Air was still at the end of that, at that timeline. What else was on there? At the time, it was labeled as Inked 2. Then it changed into Way of the Stranger.
Mm-hmm.
What else was on that timeline?
From the first pitch day, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I probably could literally name all of them that we did. It was, well, first of all, Error, of course. Then it was the Drop Off.
Drop Off, yes.
Drop Off, he pitched all episodes. Havel, I'm not sure if he pitched Hey Ellie or if it was something.
I don't think we knew him.
No,
yet.
he was there. He wasn't he?
Bless you.
No.
Havel was there, right?
I think he was there.
No, because we met him after Blood Ties.
No, this was
Blood
after
Ties
Blood
was
Ties.
done by then.
It was I don't feel like he was there.
No, Havel was there.
He was there.
I swear
Yeah,
he was.
You were.
That's how he, because he was on the timeline to make. Well, I'm not
What
sure.
was it? What
He,
was the
it was
timeline?
supposed. Well,
No,
I
it
think
wasn't Hey Ellie.
it was a different film, but he probably changed it
He's
to Hey
done that a
Ellie.
lot.
Yeah.
Because he was going to do Mr. Hinckley for the second one, and he never ended up doing
Yeah.
it. But it was after that. It was Afterworld when I had my nervous breakdown, like shivering my timbers in front of everybody.
Was it Afterworld?
It was.
I'm like you. I've seen you have other breakdowns.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I was nervous because I was like talking in front of people that I don't know, and then it was
I mean,
Life
there
in the
was-
Orchard by Jerry, whatever his last name is.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Monica had one, but she never ended up doing it. Erica, she had one, but she pushed it. There was another one by somebody. I don't know. I don't remember the film name. Then it was Ram's Head was in there.
Yeah.
A Man's Due, and then We Missed You.
Yes.
Oh, and the Hunger Games one.
Yeah, and I think the thing to keep in mind too is when we were picking these scripts, like we said, everybody was not so much pitching them, more so just like, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine.
Yeah.
And all that was happening around A Man's Due. So this all ties together with the question of picking the scripts. All these things happened around us making a feature as well.
Yes.
So we would film the feature
Which
in
is
the
what
day.
I thought was insane when I saw a short film each week, and I
Yeah.
said, "You guys, we're filming a feature as well."
Yes, and we
middle
would
of
film
this.
the feature in the day and then go to these shorts at night.
Yeah.
And
That's the bulk of what made our to 20 from 20 to 30 in like first 6 months, I think.
oh yeah, and I think again to tie
'Cause
into the
we're
question
crazy.
of how do we pick the scripts, we learned from that whole thing to the next pitch day, and we let the next
Yes.
pitch day
That was
set the timeline.
biggest day that we probably had. I mean, compared to the first. Oh, of course, I wasn't there for the first pitch day, but
Yeah.
our second pitch day, that was a big one. That one was at the Enterprise.
Ryan Stanley,
Ryan Stanley,
our friend
was
Ryan
very
at the Enterprise.
We were very fortunate of him to let us use his space there.
Yeah,
But yeah, we had our second pitch day there, and this was more of we had an open call kind of thing.
yeah. We
people.
promoted it.
Yes.
We had like a check-in list.
Yes.
We had requirements.
Yes,
we had.
yes.
This was about like it's gonna be yes
Yeah.
or no.
This was going to be selective.
This isn't gonna be like we're gonna do everything.
Yeah, even though that was the original want for certain someone. He wanted.
A lot of people had wants.
Yes.
for
yeah,
that pitch
yes,
day, but
yes.
we weren't
that
having
We
it,
wanted
so.
to just have this huge pitch day and have everybody bring in their script, and that's when we decided, okay, if everyone's going to pitch, then we need a script, we need a treatment, we need a
Pitch deck?
we need
Yeah.
PowerPoints, we need an actual script, because a lot of times
Yeah.
we don't get a script at all. We just like, I have this amazing idea.
I have an idea.
And then it's never written to a script. And
I
then we
guess to
get
be
the
fair,
day of.
we've all had an idea.
Yes, we've all had an idea, yes, but we don't go into filming the day of and be like, you know what, it's all up here.
Yeah.
So we had a few of those. Believe it or not, yes, we have a few of those people that
Yeah,
just come up and
yeah,
like, you know what,
and-
we'll figure it out as we go. No, what?
You know,
what's
We
happening?
learned to not do that. Yeah.
I had this one kid came by to pitch the film. It was like, and I don't think it was gonna happen because it was like you can't do it because it's copyrighted by Disney, and you know, was trying to do a prequel film to something you can't copyright. And he asked me like, hey, do you think you could do visual effects for mine? So I'm like, I'm not a CGI artist, man. I don't know how to do it.
I think, yeah, a lot of people don't know the difference between the CGI and the VFX of understand, because I didn't know. When you told me, I was like, oh.
I was like, I can't create an
That's
animated
what-
world.
Make me a castle, damn it.
I believe, if I remember correctly, he wanted to make essentially a fan film of Wall-E,
Yes.
but a prequel.
Yes.
But I remember asking him, like, how do you plan to, like, circumvent a pre-existing IP
yeah.
and copyright? And he goes, what?
Yeah.
And I said, this is already something that's existing.
Why are you asking some stupid question like that?
Yeah. Such a ridiculous question. This is something that already exists, that's
Uh-huh.
a major company. How do you plan to get around that?
Yeah.
And his whole thing was, like, to what you just said of, like, oh, yeah, we'll figure it out.
It'll be fine.
Like,
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
so that was, like, again, I guess my point of that is that was when we determined, like, these are going to be yeses or no.
Yeah.
Yeses or no.
Because we quickly discovered, yes, we're letting a lot of people pitch scripts and tell their stories, but a lot of the times when people see what we do, they think it's fun, and they don't really see it's a lot of work you have to put into it. And so a lot of them aren't amateur filmmakers or filmmakers at all. They just kind of, they like, oh, I had no intention of doing any of this. I just saw you guys and it looked like so much fun. And
yeah.
a baby kitty. And so they end up saying, like, well, I had this crazy idea in the script, and they wrote it out, and sometimes it's not even in script format, which is why a lot of them try to come in with hadn't-written scripts or something on WordPerfect or Notepad or something, but they don't realize how much they are not learning if we don't tell them to format it structurally as a script. Sorry. But yeah, that was the main purpose of that pitch day, of making everyone do that, because the fact that they weren't prepared. But like, this, because I know you guys aren't familiar with this, you have to do it this way, kind of thing.
And I think the big thing, again, like all tying back to the question of how do we pick our scripts, is a big thing of how we pick them is we consider our own lives. We have to consider our own lives because we're giving a month to this project, and that means we're figuring out, each of us, if there's 20 of us working on it, 20 people have to work out their work schedule, their life schedule, because this thing is so, whether it's exciting or precious or, beautiful, whatever you want to call it, that we all said, we're going to do this for this project. And that is the big thing that still to this day goes into how we pick our scripts. And that is, that's always been a big deal for us, because we want to make sure we're able to give our best to it. And so when that second pitch day came along, that's kind of what played into, like, no, if we're saying yes and no to these things, it's because of that, which is a huge consideration. Like, we're taking off work, like all that.
Have you guys ever thought, like, in the sense of, like, how small we were back then? Like, because we were, at the time, we were, like, we had only, like, 200 followers.
Yeah.
And that's when we were announcing Pitch Day. Like,
I think that's even being generous. 200 followers, honestly.
Yeah.
we
had way less, I feel, but yeah. So from what you built,
Yeah, it's like, no, because we had 200 followers. We announced Pitch Day, and it was basically everyone we already knew was there.
Yeah.
And could you imagine if
some people that we didn't expect to be there?
And could you imagine we did Pitch Day 3.0 with the amount of followers we came
for right now?
Well, especially with the body of work we have now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It would be insane. It's funny thinking back. More people might have showed up to the second pitch day than we actually had on the team.
Oh yeah.
Because you guys mentioned we filmed we did it at the Enterprise. They were kind enough to let us use the space, and the Enterprise, has a. If you're not familiar, check out the historical Enterprise building.
Yes.
They've been such good friends to us, San Bernardino, and they have all these little cool rooms. and they let us have our pitch day in this room. And I remember sitting in the front because me and Marie were pitching Blood Street, which is its own podcast. But me and Marie were pitching Blood Street, and I remember, I'm sure everybody remembers, that room was boiling. It was so hot
yeah.
because there was so many people in the room.
It's very warm.
And
The bar was the only thing that was cold.
I remember getting up. I was like, I have to get up, and I went to the back of the room, and that's where Vince was. And it wasn't until I was in the back of the room and saw, like, in the front, all you saw was the stage where everybody was pitching.
Mm-hmm.
You heard them, but I didn't bother. Like, you didn't see the amount of people that were in that room.
Oh yeah.
And I remember going to the back and standing next to Vince and like, holy crap!
Yeah.
Like, seeing it, and we just looked at each other like, look at everybody that showed up.
And some people were there not even to pitch; they just were there to
support,
be there and
just
support.
to meet people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. And not to jump ahead, but then like, I was so happy after because the Enterprise has this awesome little bar there too, that we moved the whole thing to this bar and everybody got to have a good time and rub elbows. But we'll get to that.
I stayed out of that bar.
Yeah, we'll get to
It's like,
that.
this is too
You were
many
gonna say
people.
something.
No, yeah, it's crazy because if we did a pitch date 3.0, we blasted on social media. Could you imagine who's gonna show up? How many people will show up?
Yeah.
Not encouraging that we do another one.
Kind of sounds
you
like
know,
you are.
but it's like if pitch date 2.0 had that many followers, we probably would have more people coming in because we only had 200 people, like people who knew us already.
Yeah.
It's like, what does that give?
Colin Lang, who's from Manchester, who also started in our recent film Blood Street, he just showed up.
Yeah, he was kind enough to show up and support us,
Mm-hmm.
which was amazing.
Yeah.
And a lot of people did. Like our friend Carrie showed up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And we love Carrie to death.
Carrie.
No, yeah, it would be insane. And again, not saying we are. We've learned to take forward. If we were to do it again, now we've learned, like we did from the first one for the second one. Now we've learned, okay, this is what we would and wouldn't do for the hypothetical third one.
Hypothetical.
Yes. No, don't put it in quotes because that means it has potential. Not going to be a third.
Fingers crossed in the back.
Again, we would have learned to carry forward what we did from that one.
Yeah.
And it would be a lot bigger. And the whole, again, like tying it all back, the question of how we really kind of found it ourselves that day. Because we saw at the first pitch day, we knew we're showing up with the script and maybe like a janky pitch deck. But we all showed up like, I have my, like you said, I have my script, I have my treatment, I have my pitch deck, all this other stuff. So we took so much from it too, and that like is what we ask people to bring us now, and it's really not much different, except we're obviously a lot more accessible.
Yeah.
Because case in point, like you started off the conversation, Anna. Anna reached out, and we're just going through the motions with her. So, yeah, it's great.
What we took from it really was the whole point of that pitch day was to select. So the whole process of selecting all those people. Do we know how many scripts we had pitched?
It was like 40, wasn't it?
No, not 40.
Are you sure?
There was no way it was 40. It
felt like 40.
It felt like 40, but...
Well, I say 40 because remember we had people submit their material before the day. So 40 people didn't pitch, but we had like scripts sent in from like all kinds of people.
Yeah.
I do remember that. Obviously they didn't all get pitched, but
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I would say 20-ish people pitched that day.
How many were chosen? Because this was the pitch day that
I would say. No, go ahead.
This is the pitch day that created Unit 2.
Yes.
We purposely did.
Not everybody knows
Unit 1,
about
Unit 2. Yes. Yeah. Not everyone knew about what Unit 1 and Unit 2 was. We had created 2 units. Havo had been in charge of the second one because Havo, of course, he's a teacher. So he wanted to guide that second team to keep going so that we could have a break in between some of these projects because Paul was very determined to make many, many films. And we said, okay, but we can't spread ourselves too thin. So if we have Havo doing the second unit team, having a lot of new students coming along with us. I know Eddie was part of that team a lot. Jazzy was part of that team a lot. Those students coming in and guiding underneath what he was doing, and they reported to him. Those filmmakers would report to him to tell him, like, hey, this is what we're doing, communicating this and that. This is also when we decided to have a writers group, because yes, people wanted to write their scripts, but I mean, like a lot of us, I'm not saying I'm a professional writer, but we have learned from screenwriting class and then from our own experiences of what doesn't work.
We were trying to help each other.
Yeah, we were trying to help each other. Like, what would make this script make more sense? Like, you know, and I think Paul even asked me too, what makes us think that we can tell someone if their script is good? I said, we're not. We're just an audience.
Yeah.
And if I can read your script and understand it, or if I can read it and be like, this is really cool, or I can say, some of it doesn't make any sense to me, then we can tell each other that and give ideas of like, you know what, maybe we should go in this direction instead to make it be something. So you're not copycatting for one, because a lot of times people forget, yes, we get inspiration from these movies. Like, we're all inspired by our movies that we grew up with, but we want to make sure we're keeping it original. We're not copying them completely. Yes, you can pull from this and this. This movie, like my movie You and Me is a pull from, I think what ChatGPT told me it was a pull from American Psycho and Meet the Fockers. You know, and so it was very much like that. When you pull something from those two movies, you don't want to make a copycat of it. You want to make it an original. And so a lot of the times we're reading these scripts and we're like, okay, this is a lot of run-on sentences. We all did the same thing when we started writing. You know, we just write and write and write. And we're like, we read it, we're kind of thinking like, no one ever talks like this. We start thinking about that. And so we started helping out people work out the script, especially if it was, I think we put the minimum to 10 pages.
Yeah, because
or the max, I should say. The max is 10 pages.
Because a lot of those things that we set, like you're talking about, we were holding ourselves to.
Yes.
Yeah, like keep it to 10 pages so we can.
For one, it's affordable. Another, you don't have 5 to 10 days of filming, or 3 months like some of us have. We don't have an over amount because you're taking time away from people. Like we said earlier, we're taking time away from people's lives and their jobs if they're calling off at some points, or making ways around.
Focus.
I know,
and
she's
so,
knock this thing on me.
But yeah, when we make these scripts more than 10 pages, we are requiring people to take more time out of their days. And we're also trying to save you money at the same time, because it's not cheap to make a short film. No, you don't pay us.
Yeah.
But you are, I mean,
at the time you don't.
At the time you don't pay us, but you at least have to consider you're going to keep us at your mercy for a whole day, probably. Maybe some most cases it's like 10 to maybe 6, depending how long your day is. It might be a whole 12 hours. You better feed your crew and give them some hydration, because this is like slave labor now.
Because as anybody knows in independent film, copy and credit and meal, that's fine.
Yes.
But that everybody's very familiar. Everybody in independent film is familiar with the term copy, credit, and meal.
Yes.
Oh, what does that
But
mean?
what some people didn't understand was there's emphasis on
meals, yes.
not just here's a tray of macaroni and cheese.
Oh,
for 18 people.
Poor people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ration amongst yourselves.
Yeah. You all get one bite, pass the tray around. That's not the way it works. So
yes.
We definitely tried to emphasize that to people.
That's a lot of what we base our relationships on with a lot of the people that we work with is we treat you with respect, for one. We don't treat you like you're just expendable, where you're just like, whatever, I can find another one of you. No, clearly you can't, because you asked for me to help you with this thing. What was that one thing we had said? It's like number 1 rule, don't be a dick.
Yeah.
I think that was a big thing.
Yeah.
It was number 5, I think. But
It might be number 5, but I know we that's brought up. It was brought up a lot because we
It went
learned
from 1 to 5 to 3 to 11 to 1.
and then we're like, you know what? This is the main thing that's an issue with people. You know, that so we ended up bringing it up to that because we met a lot of people who kind of. It's the whole thing of you put someone in a director's seat and they become God in their mind. And
Yes.
we've met a lot of people.
I'm an artist.
I am, and you put these people in that position.
He knows.
Yeah,
he knows what I'm talking
he
about.
knows,
so,
yes.
yeah.
And you put these people in these positions, and they there goes the don't start the giggle, and we've met a lot of people over the past 3 years that it's so easy for people to get into that mindset. I don't know how because I can't see myself getting there, but you're no better than anyone below you within the crew, because without them, your movie is shit. Your movie is nothing.
It's non-existent.
Yeah, it's non-existent. Try putting
Yeah.
the light up and do your sound and do your camera and tell your actor what to do all at once without having to worry about anything. No, you need a producer, you need a grip, you need a DP, you need a cam op, you need a sound op.
Yeah.
You need to treat all those people with respect because you can't be an ass to them and have them just stay there.
Yeah,
it just doesn't work that way.
Yeah, you don't come to a group of at that point.
Paid or not paid?
Yeah,
In
well,
my
yeah,
opinion.
exactly. No,
But,
of course,
when
yeah,
you get
that
paid,
should
so
be
it's-
paramount.
yeah.
Is being nice and polite and professional with everybody.
Yes.
But again, everybody, not just in film, but independent film specifically, knows like you don't get your film made by being a dick and not having money. Regardless, like you said, you need to be nice anyways.
Yeah.
But like when you don't have money, and okay, but you got a group of people who are passionate about this, and want to help you bring this to life, regardless that you don't have any money, that are saying again, copy credit and feed me, I'm there because I believe in this. That is not automatically a cue for you to be like, great, now I can treat these people like trash.
I own you all.
Yeah,
now.
because it's
No.
not the way it works.
And I think that was a
Yeah.
big thing for our selection of scripts as well, of like, how much time is this? Are they willing to cut down some things? And a lot of the times, I think I did anyway. I don't know if anybody else wanted to do this, but my main purpose of cutting down these scripts and making sure, because I was responsible for the first unit of making sure those scripts were 10 pages or less. And by doing that, I gave a lot of like, you had some scripts to read. I think you did have some scripts to read. You know, a few of us had some scripts to read. And so we can give these notes to everybody and be like, you know, this thing here is a little copy-ish, or like this thing here doesn't serve your story from what I'm reading. It's where you're taking it. Like this is, I don't know where you're taking it, but this is where I see it going. I don't know if that's what your intention was. And it was a whole writer's process, workshop, if you will, of telling these people these notes. And this was one of those things of, if you were to pitch it to a studio executive anywhere, and you're lucky enough to even get to direct your script for one, this is your first thing is to pitch it, and then like, okay, well, how much you want for it, if it's good enough. You know, you don't get to direct. You're very lucky if you get to direct, but this is one of those things, if you do get to direct, how much will be willing to cut it or change it or do whatever we need to do to it.
Yeah.
If we need to do, you know, and
because we were hoping to give people the chance to direct
yeah,
their stuff, because that's, like you said, that's not something that always gets to happen.
exactly.
And we wanted to
If you're not an
fulfill
independent
that.
filmmaker, of course,
Yeah,
funding your own money
Yeah.
for the film, like, then hell, whatever, make your own damn film. Maybe you don't have to, you know, you won't have any
Just like
people.
Lloyd Kaufman said, make your own damn movie.
Yeah, make your own damn movie. No one can tell you what to do with it or not. You
Yep.
are you paid for everything. That's
Of course,
do what
yeah.
you want to do.
Yeah.
But you're not paying for shit other than you're literally just buying people food. And yes, you are funding it, but you're funding it with craft services, you're funding it with props, whatever you need for your film. At the same time, you're not paying your people. So, and at the same time, we were technically a production company, or not production company, I should say. We were producing it for them, in a way.
Because we were doing the legwork.
Yeah, we were doing legwork
finding
with it.
locations.
Yeah.
We were
Yeah.
finding talent.
Yeah.
All those things. Like
Yeah.
we gear everything. Like we were doing those
Right.
things,
And
like, which people don't realize.
Yeah, so that whole workshop was to make sure people were willing to cut down what they needed to cut down if they needed to, and how willing they were to do it. And that was a big testament to how much people did not want to do that, and it shows how much, like, you know, it also shows how willingly on set you're able to adapt, because when you're not willing to cut on a script, you're not going to cut on the day of, and all you're going to do is throw a fit the day of how you can't get a certain shot done because of location didn't work out, which happened many times in the past. Location didn't work out, okay, adapt then. That's when your producer comes in and adapts with you and says, okay, this is what we can do, this is what you can't do. And then you have a director that just freezes and shuts down and doesn't want to do anything because they didn't get the one shot they needed. And that is a big thing of, like, that's what we're talking about. If you're not willing to adapt by your script cutting and trimming or joining some things because you're trying to speed it up, you're not going to be willing to change it the day of when you're actually on set. That's what I've learned over time with working with a lot of people, is if you're not willing to change the first where it actually started, you're not going to change anything the day of when you actually have to fix it.
You're ultimately paying for this, and that's great and that's wonderful. And if you decide, well, if we can't do it, you're going to go off and do this yourself, we're like, by all means, we hope it goes well, we hope it goes great. The thing, like, to your point, that we were always trying to emphasize is, like, look, we wish we had the time and money to let you change this on the day of, or to go back and get this. A lot of people didn't.
Wish I could get you the location you want. It looked amazing.
Yeah, and what a lot of people didn't realize, especially once we gave them that opportunity, was, again, I'm an artist now, so I'm just going to get what I want. Like, no, guess what? Because we can't get inside the building. So you better change your mind real quick, or we can move on.
Is there any way we can change that? No, I got the keys.
And again, like, it all goes back to the question of how do you pick your scripts. Like, we would talk to people. People would reach out to us. We would have the pitch days.
Communication.
Yes.
Communication is very important.
Yes, and getting to know people, like I said, we learned from everything. We learned in terms of, like, okay, we also need to do better on, you know, X, Y, and Z, while we're expecting, you know, A, B, and C from this person. And in a lot of cases we got it back, and a lot of other cases we didn't.
Right.
And, you know, we carried that forward, and again, we applied it to taking people's scripts now.
Yeah.
Like, because we learned all that, and
it's not so selective now. I know we were selective, but with the whole the second pitch day, we actually did select, and some of them we had to email them and tell them that, sorry, we will not be doing your movie. And a lot of it was the time that they put into it. A lot of it was whether it was, we felt that it was even doable, for one. How would we pull this off? Like, we don't have the resources to do some of it.
How do you intend to go to space?
Yeah.
Tell me that, because I'm interested.
Because there was so many on there that we did want to do, but I know we set it up with, like, unit 1 and unit 2, and we made sure to separate them so that we would have time for all of them. And then we have unit 2 coming in with the same ideas to do the same thing with them, but at the same time we're looking at them like, damn it, we can't squeeze them in that week. Like, what if we tell them maybe next time, you know, like, hopefully later on, but not now. But there's a lot of people we wanted to give chances to. There's a lot of people that we're saying there's no way that's going to be done, kind of thing. And it was very hard to actually pick which scripts, as much as we didn't want to, because so many people pitched. But we decided that because there's no way we were doing 20 scripts in, like, the span of, like, 4 months, like we did you know, we did before, with the whole feature and all that. But yeah, with the selection process, telling people, emailing them, giving those bad news, like, sorry, we will not be doing your email. And I don't know, around that time I got really used to telling people no at that point. It was like
rightfully so. Yeah,
it was
as we all should.
Yeah, it was a whole year of I think producing yours. A lot of people came to me to produce a lot of other stuff because they see me doing yours, and they're like, "Oh, you look like you know what you're doing." I had literally, like,
You're like, thanks.
like, you look like you know what you're doing, and, like, I didn't. I was just working and learning as I went. but I also knew a lot of information on how to get stuff on campus. People that knew us already. I learned to talk to a lot of other people on the campus or anywhere else, because doing yours was the first time I learned how to do permits for No Honor Among Thieves. It was the lobby, the lobby in Riverside, and that was the first time that I had learned to do anything with permits, and that was like, I mean, that's the legalities of getting your location anywhere. Of like, instead of hope for ask for forgiveness instead of permission, we actually got a permit, and the school helped fund that, helped get that with the insurance and the student authorization and stuff like that. So I had learned to do that with producing. So when people saw like, oh, she got all this, she got that, like, what can she do for me? And I ended up spending that entire year producing, and a lot of producing is not making people happy. A lot of producing is telling you no. What is viable? What can you get away with?
Yeah, it's not, I'm here to spend all your money.
Yeah,
it's I'm here to budget
yes,
properly.
I'm here to budget properly. I'm
and
here
not
to make
let you
sure,
go over.
Yeah, here to make sure you stay the time frame of your day. Make sure you stay within the days that you're filming. And if you don't get that done in a day, then it looks like you're cutting some shots. And so I got very used to just saying, I don't give a shit. if you can't do it, I'm going to say no. And if you fight with me, I'll fight you back. I don't care. You told me you wanted me as a producer, then yeah, go for it.
Throughout my years of like reading people's scripts and choosing, or when it comes to critiquing a script, and it's like sometimes they have a lot of criticism, or sometimes they have very minimal. Like when I've read scripts before, you can tell when a script is either, you can tell how much work and passion has been put into it, or if it's just something like, oh, it's something cool, let's just do it. And that's
Right.
where the critiques lean more towards the left side than the right. Like when I read your scripts, like I can see all the passion within those scripts. But then when you have other scripts, and it's just like, who talks like that? Like, why?
That's like what I sent you the other day with the big hit. Who wrote this?
Yeah.
Oh, why does it end like that? Why does it start like my kids?
Yeah,
They don't talk like
like
that.
I said, it's when people see what we do and they just think it's really fun. And don't get me wrong, some of those stories are really cool. It's just the matter of, it's not easy to bring it from here to paper. It takes time. Like even with mine, I average on a script, if I've been thinking about the story, like I think with you and me, it took me like, I think I was telling you, like, I can't figure out how to get this story. I know I want to make it about this couple. I already knew the casting that I wanted to have, and I knew that I wanted to make this story about the couple, but I didn't know how to make it go on beyond that because it was from the series and so I was trying to figure out how to get them into the future more, just to get, because I was like, there's no way I'm gonna make it exactly like that. It's just too much like too identical. And so it took me like 6 months to figure out exactly where I was going to start from and what are these stories behind them. And because I mixed the characters, I joined the two actors' characters with the original actors' characters and those personalities, but it took me like 6 hours to write. And still, even then, I sent it to you guys, and then I revised more, and I said, okay, as the days went on, I revised more and more and more. Not too much, but mostly the dialogue I revised. And because I kept thinking, like, nobody writes this way. Nobody, like, they wouldn't say this kind of thing.
It was such a huge day. It was such a hot room. In more ways than one. The things that were pitched that day, and then the movies that actually came out of it.
Yeah, because a lot of them didn't make it through.
No, they didn't. Well, to that point, though, let's talk about two different things simultaneously. One, the stuff that did come out of it, the projects, the productions that did, go forward. And then I like to think of them as the honorable mentions, because there was stuff we were excited to make and then didn't get made. One of the things off the top of my head that did get made was, again, Blood Street got made. Entirely different podcast. Something else that didn't, that we were excited to make, was Alex's awesome script with the puppets. And I yes, we were so sad that it didn't end up happening, because we were ready to make it, and Alex had this great script involving puppets. And my reason for bringing that up is to let people know there was everything we've made. There were so many more films that were going to get made, and then for whatever reason, that filmmaker decided not to, or it didn't work out. Again, another thing that came out of that pitch meeting was Grudge Match.
Oh yeah.
Grudge Match was great, and Steven saw it through from the beginning to end. Shout out to Steven, our boy Steven.
And he was pushed up further. He was much...
Because somebody dropped out.
Yeah, somebody couldn't do it.
And we were like, you want to do it tomorrow?
Yeah, he was asked, do you want to do it now? Or, he didn't have to. We told him, like, you're more than welcome to stay within your month. Mm-hmm. But if you want to push it up, you can. And he went at it.
Yeah, he saw it all the way through.
Yeah.
And you can watch Grudge Match now.
Yes, you can.
Another honorable mention, I guess you could say. I always thought it was a really great idea, maybe because I came up around that time. Our boy Mike Contreras had this idea of his rave documentary about rave culture and raves in the surrounding area. And that didn't happen so much because it was impossible. It was because it would have been like an ongoing thing throughout the year.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to hit different raves and everything. Right. Mm-hmm. And it just got to a point where we weren't able to
It was mostly logistics that couldn't get worked out.
Yeah, because it was an ongoing thing, because it was a documentary. Yeah. To that point, something else that came out of it, from honorable mention to something that did come to fruition, was The Insight. The Insight came out of that as well.
Phone Call from Paradise.
Phone Call from Paradise. Yeah. Arrival.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
my own.
Yeah. Arrival. Man. And then the footage. The footage came out of there. Mm-hmm. I think Hey Ellie came out of.
No.
No? We're still on
It was Mr. Hinckley, but it never ended up happening.
It was supposed to be Mr. Hinckley, and it didn't happen.
Phone Call from Paradise. That'll be out soon. Yeah. What's up, Isaac? Our boy Isaac. How we pick your scripts, it's not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee. I think the biggest thing is we're accessible. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we're happy to help. And
we've learned from those 2 pitch days and how we can carry on for the rest of those times. But that's something more we can elaborate on of why we do them now the way we do. Yeah. How do we pick our scripts and why do we pick them? And that was the past.
Yeah. So the pitch day was wrapped. Everybody was in the bar. That bar was full of people.
It was humid.
The bar was colder than the
No, the bar was great. Yeah. That room we pitched in.
That was humid.
The thing about everybody being in the bar was we all, with the exception of Paul, who was thriving, we all were outside the bar, and we just took a moment to ourselves of look what we did.
We did, yeah.
In the best way. Look at what we did.
We did need a break. We stepped out. Yeah. I'm an introvert, so I could not be around all those people.
Well, but it came with this moment of I don't know if we want to say pride or what, but look, not just look what we did, but look at the people who came out for us.
Right.
And it was such a cool thing. And then we dragged Paul out of there.
Wow. Yeah, we did.
And so again, to give everybody just a little, I guess you could say inside baseball, a little deeper, we all hauled ass to Ukaipa and sat around this giant table and just ate Chinese food for about 2 hours.
I wasn't there.
You went home.
We talked about it.
Yeah, because it was
you were like, I'm done.
Well, the thing was it was all the way to Ukaipa. I was like, I am not driving all the way to Ukaipa right now.
It was a long day. It was, but we, that's right. You went home, and we sat around eating Chinese food for about 2 hours.
Talked about it.
We took a breath, and then the timeline was birthed.
Yes.
The second biggest, I guess in a way, the biggest timeline we've done, because 2 units.
2 units, yeah.
And to the point you brought up just during break was something else that was birthed out of that whole thing was we hammered the nail down that our biggest issue was post-production.
Yes.
And that none of these were going forward without a commitment that this thing was going to be cut, finalized, and ready for the world.
Yes.
By a certain amount of time. And we've done pretty good sticking to that even to this day.
Yes.
So
because we had gotten in the habit of filming just ongoing filming, and not one movie was being made. One movie was done and sent to festivals.
It was produced,
Yes,
but
it
it
was
wasn't edited.
It was edited, and I think I got done with mine relatively fast, but it was just the music that wasn't done with yet because I used a lot of copyrighted music, of course. I'm like, why must you put this evil on us and not let us use this music? Because it fits so perfectly. But we ended up trying to find motionary music or someone composed our music, and just using music that we could use without getting sued, of course. So that was my issue with mine. But there was a lot of people writing, filming, but not editing. And again, your movie wasn't done, writing, filming, no editing. And every time we turned around, instead of whose movie's done, no one's movie's done. Okay.
All right, well, we'll
you
check
know what?
in.
New rule: no one is allowed to make a new movie until you are done with your movie, with your first original movie. That was the new rule, saying just to keep on our asses because we had to start holding each other accountable. Like
Otherwise, we were just like filming movies, but then they were just sitting on drives.
And we always get to that point of how do we hold someone accountable when we don't pay them to do it, you know? And so we just started kind of being like, look, this is what we do. We have to start getting in the habit of finishing these damn movies because where are we after that? Like, we're just doing these things and not fulfilling anything for anyone. A lot of these actors are asking for these reels and we have nothing to show for it. So we're like, okay, I'm sorry. You're right. We've got to get this going. We've got to get these movies edited and finished. And a lot of that had to do with shortening these scripts, keeping them tight, making sure that they are cohesive, that it's being produced properly, keeping people on time. And that was the whole point of Unit 1 and Unit 2. And then the top people producing it, of the person who's producing it to communicate with me or Havo to tell us it's going along. That didn't always happen, which is very annoying that it didn't happen. But I can't force people to do anything. Of course, we're not in control of anybody. We're not paying anybody to do it. It's very annoying to not have that respect to give someone that consideration of communication, to not say something. But again, we are dealing with a lot of college students. We are in college, but you and I, of course, we're not the age of a college student. Getting right, like you got into college like right after high school. And so it's a different discipline, of course. But yeah, there's a lot of that detail of drama in between that of like we can't force people to stay accountable, and I think that's what led to us how we have it now, of like we're not really selective, but we're like, hey, when you're ready, let's do it. You know,
yeah, we're
not going to hold you to it.
Again, we're open.
Yeah,
and happy to listen to what you have.
Yeah,
we ask that you come, not even perfect, just prepared, knowing what you want,
right.
Not just I have this cool thing and let's do it.
Yeah, that was a big thing on our chat too. We started kind of joking. It started off as a joke, then it went to being like, no, I'm serious. Like, don't come to me unless you actually have a script. I don't want to hear your damn ideas. I'm sick of your ideas.
Yeah, because what people don't realize too is that it was turning into like, I have this idea for, again, X, Y, and Z story.
Right.
And then it was like, okay, cool. But what was happening that people don't realize is like, okay, cool, you're going to agree to do it. Now just figure the rest out for me.
Yeah.
And that's what we're saying is, no, that's not how it's going to be.
Yeah.
And thankfully, for the most part, the people we have moved forward with have understood that. Not everybody has.
They've learned a lot. A lot of people have learned so much from it.
So have we.
Yeah.
We took from that. We're happy to listen. We're open to listen. Yeah, we expect a certain level of preparedness, not perfection, just preparedness.
Like,
and
do you want to do this? Is this what you want to do, kind of thing? And
what do you? Let me ask the both of you. What do you look for that makes you want to do somebody's script?
The fact that they have it ready, for one.
Well, I guess I should say not besides like the technical things of that they have it ready, but like, is there something that will trigger you on a script? Like, okay, this thing isn't perfect, but I see what it is, and I really want to get behind it.
Oh, God. For one, when it's formatted properly.
Yes, that helps.
That's a
yes.
big one because
No camera angles.
Yes, no camera angles.
Which we're all
please.
guilty of.
Yes,
Yeah.
we all have done that. But please do not put camera angles in your
Yeah,
script.
we're all
It
guilty
is-
of it.
That is called a shooting script, and that is when you're ready to go. And you're not ready. If you're having me read it, that means that you're not ready to go because you want me to read it. I'm not in it. I'm not doing anything with it. You just wanted a critique from me. You just wanted my thoughts on it. Don't put a camera angle in it because that means you're ready to go with it already. And but you shouldn't be. But I'm a huge fan of movies to begin with. I don't really have a favorite. And whenever someone asks me what my favorite movie is, I don't have a favorite. That's a very hard question for me just because I like all genres. I've recently opened up my favorites to horror because the fact that I've watched horror movies with you guys so much lately. And so when it comes to a script, as long as, for one, if it's so clean and it's just like interior, this you're painting this world for me.
You can visualize it.
Yes, like the fact that I'm just reading it and I'm like, okay, I can actually see that. I see that already, like how it's written out. Character comes in, blah 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 blah. It says who this person is, and then as they speak, they don't just speak like it's not like I'm so and so, whatever. Like you're not. It's not on the nose of this is who this person is. It's like these little lines of dialogue that are leading me to who this character is. Because as an actor, I'm always character studying, not just story studying, but character, finding out who these people are with this dialogue. And I'm reading it, I'm like, I can already see who this person is. If I see that within like literally the first half of the page, I'm like, oh shit, this is a good script. You're keeping me engaged. And yeah, it's if you can paint the story and you can paint the person, you can paint the characters. But if I'm following it through and I'm in page 3 and I'm like, I want more. I'm on page 5. Oh shit, I want more. We go, oh crap, that's happening. And more. You want more and more. That is so engaging to me to just keep reading and going, and that's what captures my eye the moment of. It doesn't matter if it's sci-fi, dramatic, or like the drop off. That one caught me off guard because I had to table read for that one, and I was reading. I'm like, you just wanted me to say these words, Alika, didn't you? And it was just so dirty, and it was just hilarious at the same time. But I was not expecting to say the things, but it was funny. It was so funny, and you know, a lot of us like we're kind of like, Jesus, like I'm saying this right now, I'm saying these words, and it's just those things that pop out to you and that make you enjoy it. I think that's what catches my eye. If you can get me to enjoy that script within just the first page, then yeah, I'm totally behind it. Yeah.
About you?
Elaborate more on that question. Like, what do you mean by it?
So somebody somebody sends us a script tomorrow. You're the one that accepts it. You're the one that sits down and reads it.
Accepts it as like, I'm gonna produce it, or
no? I'm like, you're the one that
You're
opens
hooked.
the message, that downloads the script, and it's like, okay, I'll give this a read. Now, as you're reading, what is it that stands out in the script to you that turns a key for you? That's like, I want this. It doesn't have to be genre or anything, but what makes you excited about when
What
you're
hooks
reading
you.
something? Yeah, what pulls you into it? That makes you want to ultimately like, we have to make this.
it has to be a script that's like that, as I said before, or maybe I haven't, but it's a script that has to be like, okay, this is a script that's cared for in a sense of like, how do I make this make sense? No, literally, I was asking that question.
What?
A script that's like, it's like, okay, this person who writes a script is a script writer, and it's like, this is a script that I made because I care about this story. I'm passionate. I put all my passion into the story. The character stories all
They're fleshed out. Yeah.
Right.
And it's like, it's kind of what we kept saying of being an artist. I had this conversation many times. Last one I had a conversation was with Carrie about it. It was like, I told her, like, there's two different types of artists. There's the artist that paints the brush and makes it with passion, with hard work, and that's an artist right there. Or there's the other artists like, I'm gonna pay for that and stamp my name on it. Or another artist is, I'm just making it up as I go, and that's called, I don't know what.
Which isn't too out of the realm of reality, making up as you go, like calling it on the fly, because some people do work like that, but there's also obviously a technical
Yeah.
aspect of like you still have to know when to stop and to start. It just can't be
Yeah.
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 But, okay.
What really engages me in a story is if the story is well taken care of, if it's like it's cared for, like the story writer cares for the story. I know I've read your guys' scripts before. You guys care about the stories you make. Just how when I wrote Separate Ways and had worked with Sam, I cared about that story very much and how I create that story. Though that's the type of scripts that I really like and really engage towards. Like going back to Pitch Day 2023, I really loved Steven's script. Because he didn't just write that script because he just felt like it.
It came from his heart.
It came from his heart.
It was
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
something
And
very personal to him.
It was very personal, and that's what I loved about Steven's script. And there was only a few critiques I had about it because not everything's perfect. You'll be like, okay, just kind of minimize that dialogue right there, or don't use that word too much because it's a little repetitive. But that's the story of grudge matches, like, and it's a bit
those
of
are typical critiques as well, though. Like,
Yeah.
For all of us.
Yeah.
It's a religious movie, and I guess that's what me and Steven relate to. Is like we're both religious, so it's like that's why you gave it to me. You're like, you're
I
religious,
did.
Oscar. You
I was
critique it. I'm like,
I felt like you could hit it where it needed to be hit. Of like you knew where it could lead. If that's the correct word.
Well,
like,
you're both very strong in your faith.
Yeah.
And I knew
Yeah.
you can keep him on that path
Yeah.
and not take him off, because I know, if I were to hop on with that script, I'm not religious in that way, so I knew that I would I wouldn't keep it on that same like path that it's going down.
Yeah, because when we helped him, it was more technical. Like you could shift this and that. But
understanding that story of like somebody who's been lost, somebody who's trying to find his way back with another friend because everybody experienced friendship loss, or not, like in different other matters, like whether it's you lose a friend as like passed away, or a friend who just ghosts you. It's that story of grudge match that's the word I'm looking for. The word is like what I'm looking for. A script, if the script has a lot of heart in it, that's what it would.
Because that comes through.
It comes from the heart, not because
if it has a message. I think that's probably what you're trying to say. Maybe
Yeah.
if it has a certain message, it's trying to
message. But it's like when I read a script, it's like I can tell there's a lot of heart into this script. But if it's a script that's not like, I just made it because it's cool. I'm like, yeah, it's cool, but I'm not really engaging. I don't feel these characters. I don't feel the story.
Right.
But when it's a lot of heart in it, focus on the narrative, that's the type of scripts I go for.
Well, I think that's what we and you did with Separate Ways. Is that when we everything that you wanted on there, I when we were writing it together, I wrote it out how you wanted it, just small, just using these shorter words to explain what it was, because you do. I remember telling him, like, you write so dramatically, like it's so big, and it's just sweet. It's not bad. It's just what you write. And it made it so much more different with the vibe, and it's for me to like kind of like tighten it up and make it make it more focused on this is what the story was. Bam, bam, bam. Make it because you can be that dramatic weight on set and explaining to your actor this is how I want it to be, and then she can take that on as her character part of it. But I remember writing those scenes out with you, and you're like, okay, are we done? I'm like, nope, we're going back to the beginning, and then we're going to keep going until we flush everything out, just to make sure that we are not getting off track here. But it's that time that we took, basically.
No, yeah, and to that point is like it's kind of like the core and the story of P3. Like all these things weren't birthed of money. All this body of work that you've seen us have up to this point wasn't birthed of like cash, which God knows we would all love.
Oh, yeah.
It was birthed from our hearts. It was birthed because we believed in these things. We believed in these movies. We believed in these stories.
That's what it is to be a filmmaker,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Money's cool. Wouldn't we all love $10 million?
Yes,
but
we're not saying we're against it. Yeah.
but telling, I think the most important dear to our hearts is, as actual filmmakers, is that we want to tell very deep stories, deep narrative stories, and put it out there and put a lot of our heart and passion into it. That is what being a filmmaker is.
Because we enjoy it, not just being friends and doing this all the time with each other. We have
I don't want to
fun.
be your friend anymore.
We have fun. Bless you. We have fun, but we also love what we do, and we take care of it, and we don't want to just make a movie just for the hell of it. Although sometimes that's fun, just to make some content and entertain people. But at the same time, a lot of us are storytellers of I want this to make sense. I want this to make sense.
I have something to say.
Yes, I have something to say. I want you to feel something. I want you to take home something from this. Because a lot of times I have watched movies and I'm like, shit. Because a lot of these, growing up, I watched movies and I do take some stuff from it. Like it resonates with you sometimes. Something so deep, it does resonate with you. And yes, we have a lot of comedies going out there, hilarious. Like just horror movies or comedy, or just anything funny, romantic comedy. Like they just make you feel good. It's just a funny kind of thing. But when you watch certain movies, they do have a message to carry through the script, and it does sit with a lot of people. It relates to you, and it makes you think, and then that's what inspires you more. Inspires you to create your own version of that, and do that, and do this, and that's a lot of these people don't realize. Yes, we're all copycats in a way, but we make it an original. We have to make it original, because if you don't, then you're just copying from that person. After that, you're just going after a lawsuit.
And the thing too is, I know we're wrapping up, but is what again, like, question of how we pick our scripts, and how we're saying these things come from. You can tell when something comes from someone's heart, and when it doesn't, is what we've given each other license to do. What we've given the people that have come to us with their scripts license to do is to feel open to saying, like, this is worth making, this is worth expressing, this is worth creating. Because again, like I've probably said this elsewhere, like somebody asks you, like, oh, what are you doing? Like, oh, I'm writing my movie, and you get like the, oh, okay, like, okay, yeah, whatever. Like, no, we've made it okay to say, Oscar, what are you doing? Oh, I'm writing a script. Sam, what are you doing? I'm writing a script. We've made it okay to when somebody says so, like, awesome, keep doing it so we can get it done. So we can get to work. And I think that is the biggest thing that I take away from what we do. Again, starting from script to wrapping a project, like that I've taken away from what we do is giving each other and people that approach us license to believe in what they're doing and what each other is doing.
It's not easy to do it, for one, in general. I know when I did my first script, I wrote it just because I had no intention of writing anything, like, throughout my time at FTVM when we were in school. I was producing a lot of his stuff, he was constantly writing, and I was still trying to find out where I was within the film part of it, because I did start as an actor, and I was trying to get back into what I wanted to do, because I wanted to learn more about what it takes to do all of it, because I'd taken theater courses already. I didn't want to take them again at Valley, but then I saw the film department, and I got to learn more about all that, and I thought it was so interesting, and it gave me so much more respect for the actual filmmaking part of it, not just in front of the camera, but behind the camera. And when I seen people writing, I was like, oh, there's no way I'd ever be able to do that. Like, it's just so easy to tell yourself that you can't do something, especially, I mean, I wasn't even young when I started at Valley. Like, I wasn't that young at all. And imagine being 20-some years old, your age, and not having that same push that you have in yourself already. The fact that you were doing stuff without me before I even met you. And to have that drive to do that, not everyone has that. Not every college student has that, is to start off in the FTVM department and learning to do that and then doing it. It's so different just to do it and actually get in there. Being in KVCR, like, I was not ready to do anything in that studio, and I just realized I had to do it because it's an assignment, and we're just like, okay, if I fail, I fail, whatever. I'm not getting paid to do this. I'm coming to this class and learning this. And it's not easy to do because, for one, writing something very personal to myself, the first one was Thank You. That one was a lot for me to do. Like, I'm like, do I want to go down this road and hash up all this and from all these memories? Why not? Because what am I telling someone else not to do? Like, something happened to them, you don't want to bring it up, kind of thing. And you just go into it and you do it. And I know how much it takes to make yourself actually just do it. And I can just imagine, like I said, someone as young as you, younger than you, people starting at Valley, wanting to do it, but they don't have someone telling them they can do it. And not just that, not just telling them they can do it, but helping them do it. Because we say, give me your script, I'll work it out with your script, I'll work it out with you. But you have to want to do it. I can't carry you through this. Like, I can assist you as much as I can, but I'm not holding your hand. I'm guiding you through it. And then I'm taking off the training wheels and letting you do it, because you've got to have that in your mind. You have the discipline to do it. You don't always have support in that. And I know we're all really great at supporting each other. And I think that's the biggest part of that is, how do we pick scripts? We support them.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. And we're on the verge of IFF. By the
Yes.
time you hear this, IFF will have happened.
Yes.
A plethora of our films will be playing at IFF.
Oh, yes.
A lot that came from these pitch days. So that'll be fun to talk about. Maybe that should be the next podcast,
Talk
recapping
about
IFF.